All right, I want to talk to you about something a lot of us are facing now. Maybe you're feeling depressed and you're feeling anxiety. You know, soon Trump will be back in office, and it seems like there's so much despair. I have a message of hope. At least I hope this will lift your spirits. Yes, there are hard times ahead, but there still is hope coming. Now, let me just give a little background as to a lot of people voted because they thought Trump would be better for the economy. They bought into Trump's lie. The one thing that Donald Trump is very good at is being a con man and conning people. But the problem is, someone can con you and say, this is the best product in the world. You've never seen anything like this. You buy this, you will always be satisfied. They will regrow all your hair. It'll make your skin look young again. You'll have the vitality of a teenager. Just buy this product. They can con you. Oh, they can fool you, and you'll buy that thing. And when you get it home, you start using it. As soon as you start to use it, you realize you've been conned. The hair isn't growing back. And the only way your skin might be looking younger, not all the wrinkles, make you look like a teenager, is it cause you to get a bunch of pimples. You begin to lose faith because you see the product is crap. We are in that finding out stage now where people are going to find out that what they've been sold is nothing but snake oil. But let's have a little background here. Now, in the economy, back here in 2008, I'm kind of off the screen, sorry. Barack Obama came in, and this is where the economy was. We were in the Republican Great Recession, right down, get on this side, right down here, okay? We were down there. Now, as President Obama began to work hard, it took 2 years. Remember the rule. For the first 2 years, a new president is either riding the wave of success or failure of the last president. This is very important because the new president doesn't come in and immediately everything changes. It doesn't immediately all become roses or immediately all become crap. It takes time. And it took 2 years. And then President Obama began to right that ship, and the economy began to soar and get better and better and better until finally Trump was elected. And it kept going for a little bit afterwards because like I said, for the first 2 years, Trump was riding the wave of Obama. And the economy still kept doing good. But as Trump put his little policies in, and his tax cuts, the economy began to get slower and weaker, and his tariffs, and we were in a downward trajectory when he ignored all the warnings of COVID, and the economy crashed. Then Joe Biden came in, and the economy revived and is up here. Now, some of the things that led to the Republican Great Depression was, one, they cut taxes on the wealthy drastically. And this eventually caused for the stock market crash, bank failures, and with the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, that caused the Great Depression to become worldwide. And it lasted for too long. But here, now Trump is saying he wants to cut taxes again. Of course, when they did it in 1920, they cut it down from 77% on the wealthy down to 25%. Now it's like in the high 30s. There isn't too much they can really cut on the wealthy that will make it as drastic. But with the tariffs, we're looking at the economy once again going down. Now, here's my good news, friends. I know it's hard to find good news in all this. But the good news is, if we had not had Biden come in and get the economy back up here, and Trump had won in 2020, we would have kept going down, 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 and we would have been in a worse situation than we were during the Republican Great Depression of the 1930s. That's the good news. So, and it would take a lot more to climb out of that. You know, think of it. We all see it in cartoons where someone's digging a hole, and they dug so deep, and all of a sudden the sun's setting, and they're realizing, hey, I didn't make any way for me to get out of this hole, and I'm like 20 feet down, and it's a straight down hole. What have I done to myself? How do I get out of this? Well, that's what we would have been in. But because of Biden's hard work, when Trump brings the economy back down, it's going to be bad, but it won't be as bad as it would have been. And here's the really good news. Those people who voted for him and for the Republicans, just because they bought the lie, they bought that product that he would change the economy and make it all good. By the time the next election comes by in 2026, we're in the recession, Trump's second recession. Because even though you can ride a wave for a couple of years, it begins to slow down. And they're already anticipating, if he puts these policies in hand, cutting taxes, tariffs, there will be a huge recession and hyperinflation. And those people voting him just for economy are going to be hurting. So either they're going to stay home or they're going to vote Democratic. And here's the thing. There are more in 2024, there were vulnerable Democratic seats. Democrats who held seats in very red districts. And so it was a lot easier for the Republicans to win. In 2026, it's the converse. It's Republicans that are in danger in very blue areas. And the situation is going to be totally changed. And with that, the Democrats can take the House and maybe a large majority in the Senate. And this is why it's so important, because as soon as they do that, we can impeach Trump. You say, why? Why? How can we impeach him? Impeach him for what? We got 34 reasons we can impeach him. If they can impeach Bill Clinton for getting a BJ, we can impeach Donald Trump for his 34 felonies. It doesn't matter if he can get him pardoned. It doesn't matter if the Supreme Court tries to make him null and void. There, we can impeach him for him. And if we got a large enough majority in the Senate, bang, he's gone. You say, well, won't Pence be just as bad? Vance, I'm sorry, J.D. Vance. And my answer is no. Because even though some of the policies will be the same, I don't see him getting in bed with dictators. I don't see him sabotaging us worldwide. And then he will inherit that bad economy of Donald Trump. And remember, it takes 2 years to change the direction. So we'll still be in a downward direction, even if he started to right that boat when the election of 2028 comes around. And maybe then we'll get somebody really, really good in there. Now let me tell you, let me give you another message of hope. I want to take you back in time. The year is 1930. And here's a man. And he's saying, you know, I had so much hope. I'm 50 years old. And I had when Teddy Roosevelt came in, he was a progressive, a liberal Democrat, and he was going after all these monopolies and all these big corporate barons who were stealing all the money from the little guy and hoarding it all up there. And while we were starving, they were having feasts. And he was breaking up all those monopolies and putting the antitrust laws in and going after all these cheaters with all this money. And then after his term, his vice president Taft, he was doing a lot of the same things, but not as strong as Teddy Roosevelt had been. And so Roosevelt decided in the next election to run himself. And being Taft already had the Republican nomination, Teddy Roosevelt ran as independent, and he formed the Bull Moose Party. And this split the vote, allowing a conservative Democrat, Woodrow Wilson, to win. Now, Woodrow Wilson might have had a lot of good things, but he still was conservative, and he was a racist. And he gave way to 3 Republican presidents lasting over 12 years who were ultra-conservatives. Those 3 Republicans cut taxes on the wealthy, cut regulations, cut programs to help the poor and the needy. And what did they end up with? The Republican Great Depression. Just like we're fearing today. But what followed? What followed was FDR was elected. And he began his New Deal. And he put into programs that, like Social Security, unemployment insurance. And later on, LBJ gave us the Medicare. And we have protections now that we never had before. Before FDR, the elderly would die in the winter from the cold, and summer from starvation. Not enough food, because there just wasn't enough money there for them. That ended. Now I'm telling you, we get the right person to replace Trump and Vance. We are going to have a new era, a golden era that may never end. This may be the last death throes of the ultra rich trying to hoard everything. I'm telling you, take hope. It's not over yet, and we are not defeated. We are not defeated until we give up and lay down and let them put us on the ground. We can and will fight on, and we will win. There's a long fight ahead, but we can do this together. Together we will prevail. We will be the victorious ones, because we are America, not the ultra rich. They want to go back to a time of kings and lords where they could rule over us, and we peasants had nothing and could say nothing to them. And if they wanted to take our women for the night, they had every right to. Those days are over, and they will never return. And we will stand, and we will fight, and we will be victorious. Take heart, my friends. Victory is ahead. Thank you very much.